Sit. Yeah, okay. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. That's my girlie. Good job. That's my girlie. Super. Super dog. Okay, come. Yeah, sit. Sit. Yeah. My girl. Heel. Sit. Come. Yes. Yeah, come on. Good. Yeah. Down. Stay. Good stay. Good stay. Good stay, Mila. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, come. Yes, yes. Go play. Mila, play. Yes. Good play. Okay, Mila, come. Sit. Sit. Yes, okay. Come on. Place. Yeah, good girl. Mila, come. Yeah, sit. Okay, come. Sit. Yes, okay. Mila, down. Nice, good girl. You ready? Okay. I'm gonna hold you for this one, pal. You're little and cute. You good girl. Okay. Hey guys, Anna here from Canine Co-Pilots with Miss Mila. Today is Mila's last day of training. She's been here with us for 2 weeks for our Good Foundations program. First things first, we've learned a lot of really nice things about Mila. She's very sweet. She really likes to train and she really likes to be right. She's also a little stubborn, so we're going to talk to you guys about kind of working through that at home. Mila has learned a lot of things. First of all, she's learned about getting through her avoidance phase of learning and that those things don't work. She would throw a little temper tantrum and she'd try some things, and we've learned to kind of work through that. She's made it well into the acceptance phase, so she's learned that she has to do the things that's asked, and she's really kind of on her way into the appetence phase, which is what we really like to see. She's happy to work, happy to learn. We're going to show you guys how to use the commands that she's learned the last 2 weeks to gain the control you want out of her, including that door dashing stuff and the not coming when called. She's lovely on a leash now, so we'll talk to you guys about maintaining that, as well as some other basic things like the go place and the sit and the down, and work on that jumping behavior you guys were talking about when you dropped her off. First things first, I'm going to show you the behaviors that she's learned. She's very handy to me, and by handy I mean she's very obedient. So if I don't have to make a correction, we'll talk about that at the end. Are you ready, girlie? You ready to go? Let's go. First things first here, Mila. Ready? Sit. Yes, good girl. Mila has learned that the first time I ask her, if she does it the first time, she gets good praise. That's a good girl. Good. And my praise, sit right there. My praise is specific to the dog, so I don't use too much praise to make or break her behavior, but I don't use too little either. Okay, you ready? Okay. Mila, sit. Yes, good, sit. Good job. She's a pretty sensitive girl, so I usually use a lot of verbal praise, real calm verbal praise, and a little scratch behind the ear she likes, pet down on her chest. I don't really like to rough her up because that just makes her crazy. That's a good girl. So she has learned sit. Ready? Heel. Come on. That's a good girl. We're working on heel. That means stay at my left side on a loose leash. Mila's been conditioned to a small training collar, and we'll show you that. Good girl. Because she likes to choke herself out, don't you? Are you ready? Mila, down. Good. Down is one of the most important obedience commands we've taught this dog. Down is your turn-off switch. If she's down, she's not jumping on people. If she's down, she's not running out the door. She's not running away. I call down first before anything if she's thinking about getting in trouble. And she must down on the first down, just the same for the sit and the heel. So if you have to ask again, we're going to make a correction. And I'm going to show you those in a second here. Okay, ready? Good girl. We worked a lot on a go place command. Go place. Good. That means go to your bed and stay there. I want you guys to use this when people come to the door. or if she's just a nuisance in the house, you want her out of the way but not put her in a crate. Go place means go lay on your bed and remain in that bed until I tell you to do something else. So with her right now, if someone were to knock on your door, want to come in, or there's a reason to open the door, send her to her place. Kind of keep an eye on her. If she comes off the bed before you release her, you're going to either take her leash and guide her back and give her a couple corrections with the leash, or you're going to use the collar, the stimulation collar, which I'll show you here at the end. That's a good girl. The only way she can get off that place is with her release command. That's a good girl. Okay. And okay lets her out. There you go. Good job, girly. Good job. So last thing here, if you can get you to go away. That's a girl. Go on. Mila, come. Yeah, there you go. Good girl. Good girl. So really the only two places you guys are going to use your stim collar is on the, good dog, is on the recall and the place. If I say C-O-M-E or Mila, come. Yeah, good girl. And I have to say it again. So let's say I tell her to come and she doesn't come right to me, or she doesn't spin around right away. I'm going to say that, you're wonderful, good girl. I'm going to say that come command again the same way I said it the first time, but the second time I'm going to hit my button on my collar and then let it up. And so it's going to look like, Mila, come, come, come. Good girl, that's a good girl. Until she spins around. As soon as she heads back to me, a girl, good girl, good girl, I'm going to praise her up. Okay? That is by far the most important piece of information on this dog. You can make a perfectly obedient dog as long as you follow that rule right there with that come. The same thing goes for the go place. Mila, come on. Go place. So if you send her to her place, good girl, and she starts to threaten to come off, so say she gets off on her own, you're going to hit the button in the same pattern. You're going to tell her place, 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 and head her back to her place. I did not hit her there because she didn't break her place. That's really important for this dog, and that will make this dog stay super obedient and appropriate for her lifetime, really. As far as leash manners, right now she's pretty good in her heel position. She likes to stay there on her own. If she goes to make bad choices, she goes to pull this way or pull that way, if you give her a quick little pop and then release, I don't want you to drag her back. I don't want you to flip her. It's just bump, bump, heel. And tell her again calmly. That should be sufficient for her. If you ask the dog to sit or to down and you say, Mila, sit, and she doesn't sit, it looks the same way. Mila, sit, and make that correction with her leash and collar. As soon as she sits, praise. Every time you give a correction to this dog, it must lead to praise. So every time you tell her one command and she doesn't do it, she doesn't get punished for not doing it. You just help her along. So if it's sit, you tell her sit, sit, sit. Good girl. As soon as she's sitting, she has to hold that sit until you release her with an okay. Good girl, Mila. She has been an absolute joy to have. We thank you very, very much for sharing her with us. We will see you tomorrow, and I hope you enjoy what you've seen.